Hi, and welcome to our Vampire the Masquerade behind the scenes episode. This episode we are gonna go through what has been going down in season 1. Try to ask you guys questions at the best of our capabilities, and just hash it and talk about the who's and the whys and the whats, and maybe a little bit of what we expect from season 2. So, as per usual, I would like to introduce our players as well as our characters.
Okay. I'll go first again. Marianne, Siobhan York.
Tarjei, Christopher Falcone.
Örjan, Sean Dempsey.
And tonight we are not going to do fun facts, but this is interesting. I do not remember who came up with the concept.
Of what?
Who decided we should have fun facts each episode?
Oh,
Mariana!
She's the fun one.
I cheekily ripped it from one of my favorite podcasts, Dungeons and Daddies, because they do it every time and it's so much fun, so I thought it was a good idea. Steal where you can, right?
Yeah, I still forget that we're supposed to have these fun facts. So the last 10 minutes before recording, I need a fun fact, I'm no fun.
I mean, I think I came up with fun facts, but I don't think I've ever actually said a fun fact about Shiv. I think everything I'm saying is just sad and then sad and then a little bit more sad. So yeah.
It's like, I hate Christmas.
So you hate Christmas and Katrina is afraid of people dressed up as Santas and elves.
So especially when they have
it's a
the
good
big
combination.
Heads, if they have the big heads, like I will do a This Is Sparta on a mother effer if they come close to me.
Okay.
I mean, I was
decree right here now.
I was super afraid of Santa when I was a kid, because my grandmother's sister's husband, he was the Santa every Christmas.
And he was scary?
And let's just say that he enjoyed a drink or two. And
drunk, scary Santa.
Yeah.
Is there anything more traditional
was
than
it the
an alcoholic
neighbor?
Santa
Sorry,
Claus?
I might confuse my dead family here, but at least they had like a orange mask. Like the mask was like so old that the color had turned orange, and it was just like dried out. It looked
so
like
ugly.
Dried sunburned skin.
Yeah.
I didn't like Santa very much.
No.
And then we
No,
had
I actually
Disco
want to-
Santa as well. That was the drunk neighbor. Yeah. So I had two scary Santas.
No, I actually
I
wanted
feel
to
you.
make an Irish punk Christmas song and call the band Dropkick Santas.
All I'm saying is the next time, if we're going to play season 2, if any heists or robberies or anything like that come up for the trio, Chris is going to make you all wear Santa outfits as disguises.
You guys will
Challenge
get
accepted.
You will get nuked. Like it will be no success for anyone.
And of course we'll cosplay the costumes while we're playing.
Or we can have like a hunter one-off little thing.
No,
goes to
no,
Santa's.
no. Next Halloween party Katrina is having.
I know what I'm...
Yep. Big heads.
I thought you guys
We're just-
liked me.
We're just honoring you. We're just
No,
honoring
Yes.
you.
that's not.
Well, Halloween is
honoring.
about things that are scary, right?
Exactly.
Oh, you guys are dicks.
Yeah.
Just gigantic, unpleasant dicks. Oh, I have such a potty mouth.
Yeah.
This behind the scenes, me and Örjan are kind of co-hosting it a bit, because we want to delve down into the questions that we have been given, and hopefully give somewhat of a decent answer. So, how about Örjan?
But first-
the first question.
First, fun fact. Need a fun fact.
Fun fact.
This week, of course, it's the 1 year anniversary of the COVID close down of Norway, but that also means it's a 1 year anniversary of this project. It's 1 year since we started this. It just took us 8 months to put it into action. But yeah, we did some good work.
It's been a good year.
It's been
Yeah.
In that regard.
In that regard, yeah. Like we're not downplaying that the world is going to hell in a handbasket, but for us that are gaming, yay us.
Go Tuesdays.
Go Tuesdays.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't
Alright.
think I've played role-playing since I moved and since I actually played first time with you, Iron. So that is 15, 20 years ago.
Since we played it,
Jeez.
it's 20 plus. 23, I think.
Well,
Crazy- crazy
it's a
times.
good thing. It's finding back to old loves in trying times.
Yeah.
Well, for me, this has been a blessing. Safe social distancing, and really, really getting back to the old love of tabletop role playing in a new format.
Yeah.
In a new format, and you have to roll with the tricky stuff that comes with that, and of course you guys have seen that with some technical stuff, and I don't think we can be heavily faulted by it because that stuff's gonna happen.
Technology is technology, and sometimes stuff breaks, and sometimes you forget to push a button, and yeah. But we live and we learn, and get better. I think we get better every episode on the technical stuff as well, because it is technical stuff on at least 3 quite different faraway places. I think,
And some of us are technically challenged.
yeah, it's 200 kilometers between me and Katrina, and it's at least 600 kilometers between me and Marianne. So that
600.
yeah, it must be that.
Yeah,
It's-
but that. Yeah, but that.
Some more?
Probably more.
I don't know.
Get the
It
walking.
takes about 3 hours to drive through Denmark. If I'm doing the driving a bit less.
Sneaky.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right,
About
but
600, 650, somewhere around that, perhaps. Yeah.
and you learn
Cool,
stuff. Who knew you tune in today and we knew how far it is from Örjan to Mariana in kilometers? You learn stuff. We
Yeah.
educate the people.
Yes.
But
Tune
I
in
was,
and learn stuff.
and I'm quite surprised. I was a little shocked after one of the comments from one of the episodes where I actually learned something. That you had a sneaky little plan with Shiv and Aiden's illustrations.
Oh, the halos.
I've been coloring those, but have no clue. I did not see it. So Heidi, thank you. Come, keep it coming.
I didn't even. I hadn't noticed that either. When I saw that comment, I just I have to get those pictures. Yes, it's inverted.
Yep.
Sneaky
bitch.
storyteller.
I do try. But yes, let's do our first question.
Yes.
Oh yeah, do the thing.
Why Boston?
Is that for me?
It's for
Probably
think
for
it
you,
is.
yeah.
Okay. I think that it wasn't just my decision alone.
I think we had a discussion about that. Because
we had a discussion about it, like, because we've been known each other for so long and played so many games of so many years.
Yeah.
It was trying to find a city that we hadn't played in before that felt fresh and not. I'm not going to say contaminated by other campaigns and other world settings. So you didn't feel like, oh, I know where that NPC is going to be. I know what happened on that street corner. We wanted somewhere that was kind of a bit virgin, untouched grounds that we could paint and play and, create from ground up, brick by brick.
And to be honest, to play vampire in Norway, that's kind of meaningless.
Well, it's
Winter
very
would be
dark.
fun.
Winter's fun. It's dark all the time. You're good and you're golden.
Yeah,
Of course, it would
but
mean that,
still,
we would
in
be-
Bergen, how many vampires could there be in Bergen, for example?
Or could it be the 3 of us? See?
Yeah.
Chris, Shiv, and Sean should move to Bergen.
What were the Christoph? What Sean's Norwegian
No,
name?
Sean would be Sean, and he would be working at the Irish bar
Ah.
John
Sure.
Finnegan's.
No,
Sean,
Finnegan's. Yeah.
Yeah. but not during summer.
No.
No.
But it would like, how are
And
you
it would be called
political
Dune.
scheming when you are 3 vampires in Bergen?
Yeah.
Go scheme.
It's
It's
impossible.
like Christopher against the rest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
I'm getting
the
flashbacks to
masquerade
the
is
TV series.
impossible. Everybody knows everybody in Bergen.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, scheming. Yeah, like Criminal Empire would be kind of like the TV show Lillehammer.
Yeah. It would be silly, but werewolf definitely. It would be fun to play werewolf in.
Yeah, well, we have
We have, yeah,
way back when.
25 years ago, 20 more years ago.
Yeah, it lasted probably for 2 years.
Yeah.
What's with this age dropping thing? Like,
We're old.
What are you talking about? I got school tomorrow. Hurry up.
Yeah, Katrina, you're still 27, of course. Yeah.
Yeah, in some right lighting, and if people are
Ooh, we
bear
can
goggles.
Our
Sure.
viewers can do that. Try to guess the not exact age that impossible, but the order of age. Who's oldest? Who's the youngest? Let go.
And not say age.
Keep it to
And for my
yourself.
gleeful enjoyment of this, you can probably guess which slide of the scale I'm gonna end up at.
Outside the scale.
Oh.
Yeah,
Old
but
as
still,
fuck.
back to Boston. We have had some games in the New England district before, and
And
it has that.
Boston is a known city. People have heard. Most people have heard of it. Most
Yeah,
people
and
know
it's got
where it lies.
some interesting popular cultural references.
I mean, such rich history.
Yeah, and in
Which
the
is
90s it was
Interesting.
a really interesting place in the 90s.
Super interesting, actually.
Yeah,
And close to New York, which is also
yeah.
interesting.
Yeah.
I don't know what to say interesting, but yeah.
Yeah, and as the foundation of it, at least I know for my motivation was to have a place that gave us the opportunity to explore the new vampire that wasn't too colored by previous games, and gave us freedom to create our own storylines and
Yeah, and
our canon.
there's not much information about Boston either in Old World of Darkness. I think there is some information about Boston in the fourth part of Giovanni Chronicles.
Because it was run by the clan Giovanni
Yeah.
in the Old World of Darkness, so which wasn't like one of the primary clans or settings. So.
No, people mostly didn't care about that clan. It's not Simice and it's not La Sombra, so it's not sexy.
Well, they're not a clan as much as they are a bloodline.
No, the Giovanni is a clan.
Is it a clan?
It's a clan. They
I thought it was a bloodline.
No, it's a clan. They jabberized Cappadocius and created
Oh.
their own.
Of course.
But yeah, but like bloodline. I mean, they were fairly. I'm not going to use the word incestuous, but also,
Yeah.
it was all one family.
Yes,
Keep it in the family.
keep it in the family. It's proper fucked, and it's.
It's a thing of ours.
Oh, it would be fun to play a round of Giovanni Chronicles. To go through that campaign.
Are we allowed to be evil? Girl.
You're supposed to be evil.
Oh,
Always evil.
what? Me?
Wouldn't you like to change it up when you're getting to be a player? Play the nice guy for a change?
In Giovanni Chronicles?
Exactly.
No.
God damn it.
What would be the
Unlike
fun
your
of that?
drawings, you don't have a big halo.
No.
At least
No,
not a
I-
white one.
No, I don't. No. But I can try. No, it will be a very psychotic nice guy. I don't know.
Psychotic nice
So
guy.
you
Yeah,
It's
you
just
would-
that.
play yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's nice.
I'm nice.
But
God
but I can
damn
say
it.
from a player perspective that I quite enjoy playing in Boston. It's got a nice feel. It's possible to visualize. It's possible to get invested in the setting in the city, and so
I
I've been enjoying it.
wanna go there with you three, and I
Yeah.
wanna eat my way through the town.
Yes.
That's
Yeah, I
basically
will-
it. And
I
drink.
actually want to go to
when we one day can
Marrakesh,
travel
please.
again.
Yeah, one day.
One day.
When the world opens up and we
Yeah.
can all
get a few shows
back.
at Middle East and eat falafels there.
I would have to do it.
Yeah.
It has to be done.
Has to be done.
Right, so that should give you guys a little bit of a peek into why Boston. So, Ørjan, hit us with your next shot.
Yes, this is actually a question from a Norwegian forum on Facebook. Why do we stream in English? We are for Norwegian people streaming in English.
Anyone? If not, I can jump on it.
Well, I have my opinions on that, but I think you have yours.
Hey, I just work here. Unpaid intern, actually. Unpaid intern.
Unpaid intern. I think from my perspective, it is to have a broader reach, so more people can enjoy what we love and hopefully love what we love. I think, yeah, we would most definitely it would be natural if we were just like going for a Norwegian public, but we want to share it. So cheesy with the world, and then English is absolutely more natural choice.
Yeah,
And I also think most of us have partners that are not Norwegian, so
yeah.
opening and making it available for them to listen in from time to time, that's also...
Even though
Yeah.
that's weird. It's weird.
It is weird.
It's weird.
No,
I don't think Ørjan thinks so.
no. I want to share my
Yeah.
my number one hobby with my fiance. So yeah.
Yeah, I get that. The reason why I said is weird is my significant, he jumps in and out. So he is like, what the hell were you doing in that scene? I'm like, you didn't see the build-up. You know, what exactly are you doing? I'm like, you have to see the build-up.
What I feel is strange is that actually 75% of us have non-Norwegian speaking significant others.
Yep.
Yeah.
I don't
What's
know.
wrong with us?
I don't know. There's not enough weirdos where I live. It's like
yeah.
I run around like a freaking acid-ridden unicorn, and you have to find your other significant weirdo unicorn. Sometimes you have to import them. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm just going to
Or
go
be
with the
imported.
exhausted all
Yeah.
option in limited dating pool that
Exported.
is Norway. So
As I said, it's like I live in a small place, and most people here are related to each other. So if you don't to f up the future population, you gotta do like the Vikings did. You gotta go grab a foreigner, mix them.
Yeah.
So you mean it's sort of like a
Half-foreigners.
situation like in Iceland, where you have to check the family tree before you go on a date with someone, just to make sure that it's not your...
The
Yeah.
third cousin on your mama's side.
Actually, a third cousin will probably be okay, because I don't think someone's a third cousin on that island. I'm just kidding.
You don't want to end up as your own grandpa for sure. So yeah.
No.
I don't know.
Have we answered that?
I think so.
Yeah. Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
Why the slow burn, and why play humans for a whole season? It's called
Ooh.
Vampire the Masquerade.
We are
can
technically vampires.
almost almost all the time. They're technically vampires. Can I grab that and I'll let you guys jump in?
Yeah, grab and hold.
Because I think I love gothic horror, and I love the premise of vampire. I think in itself is a very interesting game. Where I find it a little bit difficult is it's very difficult to play something that you haven't been or are. In itself is problematic. How would you know how to be a 50 or 100 or 60-year-old vampire? You don't understand the motivation. You don't like what do they do during the night. You can't just sit in a bar and be like, oh, I'm very scary at the bar, and then go feed. That in itself is not very interesting. I think it's very important to understand where the characters come from. And they came from humanity. And then playing up a very slow burn of their embrace and who they were, what they lose, what they gain. I think that gives the character so much meat. It helps the narrative in a way I don't think you could get if you jump straight in. But that's my perspective on it, because I think characters without them, it's just an empty stage. Like you can, we talked about this. If you can build the most beautiful story, you can have the most interesting NPCs. If the player characters don't like feel their characters and interact with the environment, it's empty. It's nothing for me. So I think that's why for me it's been very important for the slow burn to understand the motivations and where the characters will go as vampires with the slow burn.
So it's not just writing a backstory. We actually played it,
You played it.
and backstory matters.
Yeah,
And it is. I mean, it's not necessarily super easy to create a character and fill in all the holes on a piece of paper or character sheet. So I think it helps us, or at least me, because it's been so long since I've done anything character development like this. It helps me a lot that I have the possibility to see Shivs as a human before she goes in, because I mean, obviously, I'm still confused about where she's going, but I think at least it would have looked very different if we didn't have this, and if we didn't do that, and we didn't give them room to be, human.
Yeah, and to build on that, it's I mean, everyone knows that you often you make a character and it evolves. Like the idea or the premise you first had, it generally changes, if not straight away the first game, like maybe the second game, like because whenever you meet how the other plays, how you want to play it might change, the focus might change. So being able to like form the character, also sort of playing your backstory as human, it makes it so much more interesting to play them as vampires later. I mean, I might have said this in one. I said this in one of the fun facts that traditionally vampires not been my favorite World of Darkness game. I probably probably Mage is my definitive favorite that way. But I really like this because it gives you so much more to play on as the vampire instead of just jumping right into this static entity. You get to build it alive before and played it quite a few sessions. So now when we we are embraced, we're going to be playing like vampires, and we're finally like, but I'm going to miss Chris being human, to go around doing human stuff here.
I think I will.
So you got
as
that
well.
bittersweet you got that bittersweet, like you got a bit more of the cost of becoming a vampire as well, in that sense, that the feel of actually the character actually
Loses
giving
something.
something, a part up. Yeah, you lose something, you give something up to gain something else, and that's going to be easier to play on when you actually have played the character as a human being for several sessions before.
I wanna add on that, because it's like to understand how to play, because I like the new stuff with the beast aspect and the hunger dices and all the technical stuff there. But I think when you've played your human for so long and now you're going to interact with the beast, you won't just do it like over dramatic. You will actually feel it, because his humanity is now precious because you played it. So the beast will have a different part. It won't just then be like, oh yeah, I've got three that like grr. I think it will be a much more dynamic fight within the vampires.
It will also be more easy to play on that brooding of loss, and that's pining for humanity and the pining for the fjords and all that. Not just sit in a. There's a reason you sit in the bar and you long for that blood, that heat, that life. Because
so when Sean sits in a bar, we know why he sits in a bar. It's not just
thinking about that kebab.
He misses his coffee and falafel.
And of course, the embrace is a very important part of a character creation and character part of the character as well in Vampire. And you are like encouraged to, if not like blue book it, or at the very least like quick role play even if you read the first time in one sense to get a sense of it, then be able to actually build up to it to such a degree is great. And the way Katrina has solved it as well has been great fun for me as a player, I'd say, because going from like the scene where you actually arm breaks, where you're like you feel this is like completely against your will. You're being essentially just take all will and all agency is taken for a choice taken away from you, and you're just being forcibly changed into this. And it's gradually showing that no, you actually made this choice yourself. You just can't remember it. It's that's been it's been really great fun.
Talk for yourself.
I love that story arch. I really love that story arch. And I feel so bad for Marianna.
Me too.
I'm a bad person.
Yes.
I still say she got off
would,
easier this time than in Hunter, but okay.
Yeah.
Right. You're right.
But I would never have come up with that myself, I think. Which also goes back to the slow burn and playing humans in this way.
Yeah.
And the way that we're being introduced to all the characters as humans and then being introduced to vampire. I think it's super interesting, and I can't wait to see like what's going to happen for season 2 in that regard.
Yeah, because I think also you get an introduction to why humans are picked from different clans and what different clans would value in their children, in their the generations to come, and how they would choose and what they value. And I think these 3 different clans, the Ventrue and the Gangelan and the Torador, I think it's clear their motivation to choose, even though Siobhan's story is, but it's quite Torador because it's very emotional, it's very passionate, it's very, very tragic. So it's very, I think it's very
moody,
and I think that
there
is
be a
very
lot of pining
Torador.
there.
Yeah, but that things can change, and I think we were successful in that, in showing how these creatures choose their progeny, and also how to play an embrace, and after the embrace as well. Even though you haven't played so much of after, because you've been playing in regress.
It's been one day.
At the first night.
Yeah.
It's just the first night.
Yeah.
The first night. It's the first night.
Mm-hmm.
New question.
Yes.
How do you prepare for the character, and how do you prepare for the show? And that is I think that's a question for all of us.
I'm gonna leave it to you guys first.
I can start with Sean.
Please.
Both in preparing for the for the everyday for the recording, there is absolutely no preparation. That's mostly panic. Need to set up. Need to get all the programs, all the software done, all the hardware done, and press play or record. But to create Sean, I think I started with the music. What is his interests, and what to start it from there. And in Boston, the Boston's had a vibrant music scene, and it has not had the same focus as, for example, the musical scene in LA or in New York, but it has had a really interesting scene, and I wanted to put him into that. And then, of course, around the musical scene, you have places, you have people, you have coloration, to build it from there. And then I found out here where he was living, and then I started to put his style of clothing, his cars, and all of that. His personality came through play. I write a character on a sheet, but I never. You gotta
meet them. You gotta meet
him,
them.
yeah. But I think he came really fast into life. I had a sense of how he was, how he would act with his friends, with the people in his community, and build on that. You start with the small things, and then you spiral and paint a bigger and bigger picture. Yeah, that's Sean.
I can go next with Christopher. Actually, the storyteller Katrina had a wish, or like a
had a wish.
Yeah, a little wishes. Wanted me to play like a mafia style character, because I think she needed that, and I was a little late a little later to the project than the two others, so they had a bit more time to decide what they wanted to play. Whereas I was like, the time, the commitments to play once a week, and but I really wanted to. I mean, it's been years since I've played with Katrine and years since I've seen her as well. So I thought that would be good fun to reconnect, and as well as I know the level what she's able to bring to the story as storyteller. So, I really love that. It's really that sort of the pulling no punches and playing with someone who's not afraid to like push your boundaries when they know they can. When there's that level of trust that you can play outside your comfort zone. That's an appealing part of the play for me as well. And then a chance, of course, to play with Marianne, which I've never played with before as well. And like we knew who each other were, but didn't really know each other that well. So, and so she wanted me to. So Katrina wanted me to play like a mafia style character. So, well, they say creativity is hiding your sources, but I guess I'll have to spill some of them. Though most of them might be quite obvious anyway. So, well, okay, let's just. Well, I'm not a criminal, so let's just take some from some popular sources. So, TV shows and movies is also like a good for idea. You can like rip off small elements. So I thought, okay, I don't want to make him a fully made man. I wanted to have to have the ambition, the drive to work towards a goal. So I wanted to make him like wit. So I sort of took that premise from The Sopranos, actually, where Christopher, nephew of Tony, Tony, he's not been made when the show begins because the books have been closed because things have been happening. So they haven't been actually able to take him in. So I'll take that from there. I'll take some of the motivation for the character wanting to become a mafia, wanting that lifestyle from Goodfellas. From the Henry Hill character there, and he narrates the opening scene where he tells why he always wanted to become a gangster. That sort of used that as sort of background story for him. And then I decided I needed a more personal hook as well, motivation. So I spitballed with Katrina for a bit, came up with the idea that his father's innocently in jail, that he had nothing to do with the mafia, never wanted to do anything, but his uncle, which Katrina had already created as an NPC and designated as the uncle, would then be the sort of represent the allure that made him want to go in that direction. And once that was done, really, it was sort of more, okay, what type of gangster, what type of mafia? And I didn't want to play the brute force, that part. I wanted something else, so I stole some experience, some ideas and some of the personality from the old-time classic, The Godfather and Michael Corleone. When he first commits to helping his father, when he decides to become part of the family business, the resolve he shows all through that show, like gradually alienating his wife, his children, and becoming totally ruthless because he sees what needs to be done and he gets it done. So I took that resolve.
Reminds me of someone.
Yeah, and but then again, like I said, the real character takes on his life itself and comes through play. So the first couple of sessions, he just
testing it out.
Yeah, it became a bit more different than I thought, and became more of a conniving bastard than I initially wanted him. I initially viewed him as someone who was better at analyzing and keeping back and like seeing the game, and then I more like sprung him into, and I ended up taking, well, once you first see what can be done, it's very hard not to have the character like.
What has been really fun with the Tare's character, that's seeing the episodes afterwards, is just seeing how all his popular cultural references that he just tosses out in
it's
play.
neat.
It's always somebody Easter eggs.
Yeah,
I love
So that's,
Easter
but
eggs.
then, like I say again, the essential really is which again comes back to playing Mortals for a whole season. Comes back to the other side as well. The character comes with play. It always changes.
Yeah.
The idea you have, it always evolves, and sometimes it can completely change. Sometimes you find out, I didn't really like this character. I want to change a lot of it. And by having that change being possible through, it's a bit more easier than retconning like a 50-year-old vampire or something. That's a ton.
But
more
also the interactions
complex.
that you have, like with the other players and the NPCs, that also, from my perspective, helps the character development for sure.
Okay, so I think I'm done. So you can
Sorry.
No, I'm not done. I don't think there's much more to say. Like I said, the essential is to actually, and the character really comes into life through playing. As just Marianne said, through interacting with other characters, with other players, and the NPCs. It really, you have to, and once you do, it's hard to resist. You can't really resist it. It's just going to go with the flow.
Yeah. I think for me, well, I'm actually going to do like start with what I do preparation wise for when we're playing, because I think, I don't know if I'm the only one, but I have like my notebook with like lots of notes and drawings and like even like situational stuff. Yeah, this is torn up. You will probably see why. This is kind of, it helps me shape Shiv, and I also, I don't know. Marianne likes systematic things, so I need to write stuff down because my memory is terrible. So I always have like my little, based on what we're doing in an episode, I always have my little list of stuff I know that I want to do or explore for the next episode. So I'm maybe a little bit more calculating in that way, but that helps
compared
me
to how you play.
Well, it doesn't necessarily drive that, but sometimes I get to tick off a couple of my boxes. I think character development for Shiv, because I hadn't played for so long, I was very unsure what I wanted to do, and Clarence and all of that, I think I wanted her to be in a little bit more on the humane scale, and Toyado kind of spoke to that for me. But I didn't want her to be like a full-blown artistic type, even though she's, I don't know, I wanted her to be in that scene, but I didn't want her to be the classic crybaby, which she kind of is right now. But I wanted her to be smart. I wanted her to be savvy. And I wanted her to be like the detail-oriented person, because I can relate to that. And I think I need to draw my own strength in this character for it to be believable and for me to be comfortable in it. So that might be a little bit of a cheat, but...
Oh, it's not a cheat. It's playing on your strength.
Yeah. And I also think... I've myself have studied archaeology and conservation, and I was in a crossroad at some point, like doing art conservation or object conservation, and I landed on the object route, but I think it was fun for me to bring that into her background story, into what she's doing. So not something that I've done, but something that I have just a little knowledge based on. And I think background, like family and relationships and all that was actually, I think I it's so cheesy to say, but I kind of took some of the background story from a computer game character, because I play a lot of Overwatch, and I know this is not necessarily a game that you think so much about the characters, but it was just something about the rich kind of background, also for me, because especially after playing a penniless, homeless person in Hunter, I wanted her to have a little bit of financial stability.
You wanted to make it rain.
Yeah. I've never done that, so I felt like cheating saying she had that background, but I also felt that gave her a little bit of a different way for me to play on.
I love that.
So stolen's a few things from that, but probably mostly from myself, to be honest. Yeah.
And from my side of the table, when we start, it's everything is like the light on the stage is only in one area, and that's also within the characters' like soul life, if you like you just have a little spot, and as they interact and engage with the NPCs and the worlds and the conflicts, you see that little light grows bigger and bigger and bigger, and you and the players start to understand the motivations of the character itself, what pisses them off, what they hate, what they love, and they become clearer and clearer. And at one point. And that's the beautiful thing with immersion role playing, is you feel that the character is using your emotions to act out his or her emotions. So
sure.
you are just leaning and giving of yourself to this now almost imaginary person. And that's what I love with immersion, is like when you get to that point. It's like, for me, it's my NPCs. They walk around my head and talk to me all day long, and they act out scenes, and they're like, we didn't like that, we're going to do it over again, because I don't think this is the right motivation.
You know,
I
that
am
makes you
very
crazy.
I'm very, very healthy mentally. But that is a part of my creative process. It's like I need that immersion. I have a great mind's eye. I'm very good at visualization. Kind of have to be, since it's part of my job. And for me, then NPCs, they borrow me to tell their story, and if I feel them and understand their motivation better, it's easier, because they become more of a whole person, and in the end they just using my emotions to tell a story. That's just a little tidbit from my point of view when it comes to characters.
No, that's interesting, and I think it shows something it really comes well over, because the characters, your NPCs, feel so very much alive, so very much as their own person. Like, it's not Marianne talking to us now. It's not the Katrina talking to us now. It's Trixie. It's Ophelia.
It's, of course, it's going to be hard when you're jumping into super butch male characters, or like scary ass motherfuckers like the Duke, because like I'm a white chick from Norway.
No, but when you are acting...
I go to the gym and I try to get butch, but I's not.
No, but when you're channeling the Duke, for example, it's the Duke that sits there. It's even though it's on a screen and you are 200 kilometers away, it's the Duke, and you are sitting just in front of me, and that's motherfucking scary.
And that's a good way, if you really lean into a play, both your character and the GM does so with the NPCs. It's sort of, it helps build that suspension of disbelief.
Yeah,
it really sets the tone and makes it easy to be scared of that particular NPC in that way. So yeah, no.
I mean, I also super, like, I visualize things very strongly, and I need to. So for me, I think definitely all the illustration work that was done beforehand of each of the characters, that helped me see that. So every time you are the Duke or Ophelia or Trixie or Aiden, I see that drawing, and I know that's, or a version of that drawing.
Yeah, it's a visual.
It's weird.
Help. Yeah, it's, and for hopefully people that watch that struggles a little bit with the mind's eye, just trying. I can't illustrate every single NPC in the. There's like, oh, Bobby Joe in the coffee house. You mean it for 2 seconds? You never see him again. He needs an illustration. We can't do that. Trying just to do the most important ones, or the ones I feel, that are important for the story.
I mean, I've played role playing with friends, and one of my friends, he doesn't have a mind's eye. It's actually, I mean, not everyone does. It might be hard to understand when you have one, but not everyone actually are able to visualize non-contextually. So for those who are interested in role playing and know how to do that, it's sure like great help.
Yeah. I mean, that's definitely a muscle that, I mean, I use in my work, but it's been strengthened through this project for sure.
I realized I didn't think about preparing for each episode, which I'm more in the camp with Örjan. I don't really prepare for each episode, but what I'll do is between play, I'll think about the characters and things that happened and how you respond, and perhaps conjure up some potential hypothetical situation. How would he react to that, and how would he react to that? And think about elements I might be able to use from the character in next episode, which sort of has helped me a couple of times. It helped me very much in the Hunter we did with one of the monologues for my character there, which I've actually just thought of the day before, like, okay, this is really his crux, and this is what he's struggling with. Maybe I can use that in play, and which I got to do this season as well, when Christopher sort of tells straight out his motivation for his lifestyle choices too, which also came from like, okay, I have written this sort of backstory idea, maybe I'll get to use it in play at some point, and then the GM perfect orchestra scenes that where you can take, like you said, you can step up into the spotlight as an empty scene and go
And
nuts.
take it. Mhm.
Well, I actually don't do any of that. I have nothing planned. Absolutely nothing. I sit down in my couch. I turn on the camera and I see what happens.
But that's just as fun, because that
Yeah.
is just leaning into the adventure
Yeah.
of it, and it's like, come hell and high water, I'm just gonna engage
Yes.
in whatever I am given.
Yeah, for me, this
and
is
it's
completely ad libbed. It's
Yeah, but that's different
action
playing
reaction.
styles,
Yeah.
It's
And-
different playing styles.
Yeah.
I mean, I still didn't tick my box of getting the letter from Jade that Christopher wrote to Siobhan. I'm so curious about that one. I have not forgotten.
And by all,
Christopher probably has.
but by all means, we introduce a lot to the story, and some stuff we're just gonna leave in the dust, because some stuff just turns out not to be that interesting, and other elements, because I's a patient bastard, is gonna pop up later.
Oh, trust me on this. I played with Katrina before, like been a long time, but something that seems small or might just happen randomly might come back and bite you in the ass like 6 months later. So
See, yeah, it's like insane, and it
She
feels
got
and seems insignificant, and if nobody interacts with it, I'm like, all right, then it gets to move on to do what it's supposed to do.
Yeah. And that.
But if the
in this
character-
series, it makes me afraid. I'm scared.
Be scared.
Yeah.
I love it. I'm into it. I'm here for it.
I feel like she can't do anything more to Siobhan, so I feel safe. Super safe.
Oh, bless your very naive heart.
oh, honey.
Oh, sweetheart. Oh, I love it.
Yeah.
I'm not an absolute bastard. This is it's a level of trust you gotta have in playing the way we do. I don't want to just beat someone down to their knees just because it's like, oh, it's fun to see someone suffer. We are all interested in complex stories.
Yeah.
And in complex stories, you need to have an element of drama and loss. It can't be, oh, shiny, happy-go-lucky, oh, this is fun. If the characters are pushed and they have to struggle, if they then get out of it, it's such a sweet relief.
Well, you have to have a struggle in a
You
good
have
story.
to.
You have to have adversity in a good story.
Yeah.
But I don't think I ever expected to cry this much in any of like, Hunter, Vampire, whatever at all. Like on camera for
Yeah.
people. So it's like
No,
a
but-
cathartic experience in some way. I don't know why.
but that's why I really love the. I think it really works well for us together as well. Is that level of trust that we know Katrina's gonna push us, but she knows we want that, we enjoy it. That even though we might even though Marianne might cry a little bit in one of the emotional scenes,
Punish me.
yeah, like it's all within
Good
what's,
fun.
It's
yeah,
all
fun.
good
But
fun and yeah.
besides, when I've already achieved my high goal actually in the Hunter series where I got Katrina to cry as
Aye.
a storyteller. So
Never happened before.
I've gotten my revenge in already. Bring it on. I can take
And
my
that's
revenge.
never, ever happened before. I was bawling. I could feel my lower lip quivering, and I'm like, this is
That
not
was a
happening.
good scene, though.
This is not happening.
That was.
But that's
That
also,
was
if you
right.
invest a lot of pathos in your characters and in the
Yeah.
story, if you really lean into it, if you really open yourself up to the potential of this might actually cut a bit, you're gonna get so much more out of the game as well. But it really does stringent on the fact that you are safe, and that you know the boundaries, that you know. I would never want to play that sort of thing with people I didn't know, and I know that Katrina would never storytell that kind of thing for someone she didn't know and did not know was on board for it, because that
I don't know.
I mean there's a lot of horror stories of stuff like that on the web campaigns and and streaming campaigns as well, where there actually been huge discussions of fallouts over crossing players' boundaries. Because you're not sensitive to actually where that line goes.
Yeah.
And you have to be, I am sensitive to people's triggers. If there's topics they are uncomfortable with, these, and we talked about this on the other, after the Hunter behind the scenes. It's very important to understand if you're going to do immersion, to understand your players. If they have topics or specific things they're not comfortable with, don't push it on them. Don't use it, because that will take away the trust, and then you will not have the immensely fun immersion playing that we do.
New question.
Yeah.
What similarities and differences are there between you and your character?
I think Mariana can start because she's already
She's
I've
touched
been
upon
into
that.
that.
touched that subject a bit. So you want to go?
I think for Siobhan and for myself, I think we're both a little bit of control freaks. We want to have all the details, be in the know-how, have all the information needed to make decisions. Don't like the unknown. And also, yeah, from educational perspective, I think those are the two main things. Shiv is a lot different from me in a lot of other regards. Like, she had such a cold background, doesn't trust people, doesn't want to deal with her emotions, and I'm the complete opposite, I think. And yeah, she's different in a lot of ways. But yeah, controlling. Jesus, I'm painting myself in the dark corner here. But yeah, and
Both have an artistic flair. Definitely.
yeah.
Who's next?
No, I can go. Like, similarities? Not too many, I hope. Let's be honest. He's still a very nice person, really. I mean, he had the potential to be, but it turned out to be. No, I mean, there's a lot of dissimilarities. But I'm in no way that kind of ambitious and that level of ambition that Christopher have. I'm probably the exact opposite. My high school guidance teacher classified me as a classic underachiever.
Yeah, it's
but,
true for I think for about half of our group of friends.
So definitely not that. But I mean, in one way, it might seem weird, but Christopher does actually have a lot of empathy. Really, I mean, he's able to understand and what hurts, what drives, and understand other people's point of view. It's just that, which I guess I have. I mean, I think I have a fairly okay amount of empathy. But
I hope you're better than him. I'm sorry, but
no,
I really do.
but that's the ability to see it. I mean, the difference here is that unlike Christopher, I actually have a conscience and the ability to sympathize as well, because that's really where Christopher doesn't have. I mean, all great manipulators and psychopaths generally actually can understand other people's points of perspectives. They just don't give a shit about them. And that's a huge difference there, because like I said, I didn't intend for Christopher to be that cold in that sense, like to be that. I mean, he clearly has some psychopathic tendency in the fact that he can completely understand a person's position or the pain or the motivation you have, and then just ruthlessly exploit it to his own gains. Which
I know a similarity. You both have very cheeky humor sometimes.
Yeah, that's
very
definitely
dirty humor.
That's probably the hugest, one biggest common denominator is not biting his tongue and.
No, and you guys don't see this before we start like the stream and everything, and we banter, we joke around. You know, if there's somebody setting up something dirty and they don't know they're doing it, Taya is for sure gonna just like.
I do love my double and tantrums.
Yeah. It's gonna get dirty real fast.
Yes.
I'm the Ken Saban of the group. Let's just say.
Who likes to punish us for it as well.
That's if there's a similarity between us, it's our.
The humor is for sure.
The not safe for work humor.
Not safe for work.
And the taste for the good things in life, food and good
but I think we're gonna come back. We're gonna come back to that later in one of the questions as well.
Yeah.
So we can cover that then.
Yeah, the similarities between and differences between me and Sean. There are a lot of similarities. I always, well, not always, but most of the time, I make characters based on me in some part of my life. And Sean has the last 25 years of me put into from different phases. It's the punk the punk phase. It's the car phase. It's now. I like that kind of music. Underground music, punk, rock, metal. I spent most of my 20s and early 30s almost living in bars, going from the bar to the after party to just
the couch.
chasing fun, playing music, don't care about nothing. He has the same autophiliac. Yeah, loves cars, loves driving. He knows how to fix cars. I don't.
But you love cars.
I love cars. I've had a good a good range of cars, from the beat up Beetle I had when I was the Bug I had when I was 20. Now I drive an electric Jaguar.
Oh, lordy da.
I love that
I
car.
completely forgot about your Beetle. Oh, man.
Yeah, I've had
You're old.
Yeah, I've had a Chevy van. I've had a Ford Focus. I've had a lot of different cars. Now, what the big difference is, I come from a very family-focused family. We do a lot of things together. And yeah, I spent my 20s mostly alienating myself from them. And it was reasons for that. Mostly me being in a bad place in life, and I needed to... I needed to get stuff out of my system, and that led to a lot of shit. Sean doesn't have a family, so he creates his own. I have a good family, and I have a good circle of friends on top of that, so I consider myself really lucky.
Winner, chicken dinner.
Yeah. Chicken.
Dinner.
And the similarity is also now I drink a lot less than... I'm almost completely non-alcoholic, but I wouldn't go as far as to become a...
I thought you had beer every time we were playing.
I've done the opposite. I've basically become totally alcoholic.
Yeah, it's two
Really?
things.
That's
Yeah.
just
One,
the times.
the day you become a teetotaler is the day I know the world's gonna end, so that's gonna be fine.
Yeah.
And hey, you're trying to buff up your muscles. You need the carbs, Katrina. You need the carbs.
Sugar and carbs. I love
But
that.
Katrina, any similarities between you and your NPCs?
She is Trixie.
Yeah, as all of them have different parts of me and my personality, or my, like, some of them are like, oh, I wish I could be that. Oh, I wish I could have been that. Or if I was a male, this is how I would be. They're borrowing different aspects of me, and I think all of them have different sides of my personality and
Different shades of you.
different shades of me, I think. But this is what I do. I try always to do that with my NPCs, is give them not just like, oh, I am evil, I have only one motivation to do things. I like that they have things that make them happy, even if they're super bad guys. Things that, like, they might like scrapbooking. Like they need to have more than just like the super villain that just stands and strokes his kitten and like, I'm gonna take over the world. They need more, and then they borrow me and my personality and my emotions to create that. Doggo.
Yeah, this. Sorry, he just came in. So this
Yeah.
is the little squeaky toy under my desk. When
So
we're playing.
that reaction, that would be Trixie. There's like, dog, can I smell it?
Yeah.
Oh, the belly smells like you fucking. Have your own honey head.
Yeah.
So that would be it.
That was Trixie again.
Yeah, that would be that. So yeah, they have different elements of me. Next.
How long do you plan for the campaign to last?
Until we're dead. No, I don't know. I think when we'll know when we get to the end. I think I don't like beating a dead horse, and I think there's beauty and leaving a story, letting people wanting more. You know you have to know when to leave it.
But you haven't planned
it's-
for an end.
Yeah, sort of. I have a mental end game, but that is so based on what the character does that
Yeah, of
I can't
course.
really see how it's going to look like. I can only control the world and my NPCs. And at one point, it will be it's just dark because I don't know what your characters are going to do. I don't think we'll do this for 10 years or 5 years. I think we're gonna have to see a couple of seasons where we go, and also I think there's so many different campaigns or stories I want either as a player or as a storyteller do.
Yeah.
So you know you have to know when to leave something to go over to something else. But we're not there yet. That's the only thing I can say. We'll have to see as the story unfolds.
Will the story spill into other World of Darkness games?
It already has.
Actually spilled out of another.
Oh yeah, it's built out of another. Yeah. I do that. At least when I storytell something in the World of Darkness, it's the same world, and everything is connected. And if you move something to fuck up someone else, they will feel it. If that's a supernatural creature, it's very important for me that characters know that they can manipulate and change the world. If they feel they can't kill NPCs, if they can't change anything, what's the point? And that's a tip to all storytellers. If you're so precious about your setting and you're so precious about your NPCs, your characters, then again, they're not going to trust you. They're not going to want to engage. They're not going to want to go into fights. They're not going to want to do anything because you are not letting the world be changed by them. It's very important for characters to understand that they can change things. It is not set in stone. If some of them kill one of my favorite NPCs, well, then too bad for me. That's just how it goes. You can't be that precious about it.
I mean, we don't know. I mean, when we played Hunter, we didn't know that we would meet Trixie and Aiden and Velvet Rope and all of that in this campaign. So it's just Marshall. Yeah. It's
yeah,
just,
it's been fun for us. Like, wait, but
and
that's
then,
from,
yeah. So I think you're doing such a like when you're tying them
Well,
together,
it's
even
what-
though
it's-
it's
it-
years apart.
yeah,
It's just
it's-
really interesting, and it opens up the world more for us, I think, as well.
Oh yeah, I mean, just a little brush with hunters and the connection
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
like when you realize exactly who you.
I'm very
shot
happy
at.
you didn't kill my sister. Well,
Yeah.
not my sister, but
Like
Grace's
it didn't really
sister.
sink into me that until after I decided to shoot at her instead of the other one that I actually was probably shooting
Oh,
at
shit.
Grace's little sister. So
But
yeah.
you can't think about that because
No,
you're
no.
on the opposite side of the border.
Yeah,
and
like I did,
you-
like I said, I didn't. It's more like I felt ashamed of what my character did afterwards.
yeah.
No, yeah, definitely. That in the World of Darkness for me, it's all connected. It's all a part of each other.
What
For
if
sure.
we'd killed Aiden or Trixie there?
Then again, this is another thing as a storyteller. If you have to, you have to let the characters feel like they could, and sometimes that's enough. It's enough to feel that you could have done something, and then you have to gamble that they don't. And if not, you better have a goddamn backup plan for why they survive, and then it has to make sense.
Well, then it would be
Yes.
his twin brother, Shaden.
Shane.
Oh my god.
But I can just say for myself as a player, I like that. I really like that there's connection, there's levels, because there's so much for us to pick out. And I've done the same thing as a GM as well, with storytelling. I used to storytell for a long while for Arian and a couple other people. Project Twilight set in the World of Darkness, where all the other different elements from when we played vampire, or we played werewolf, or we played mage, or had a tendency to interact there. So that sort of became a nexus for the different worlds, the different campaigns we were playing. So it adds elements. Plus, of course, Katrina's workload is a little easier, that she had already had a couple of vampire characters for Hunter, and didn't have to create a completely new one for vampire.
Yeah, and then you a lot of the time players create NPCs.
Yeah.
Which I'm all about, because they done all the heavy lifting. I can just swoop in and take the credit.
Yeah,
And
but
also,
it's also a good homage to the players, that their players live on in.
You're tipping your hand at your player, saying you created an awesome character. I'm gonna snag it, and it's now it's now canon in my world.
Yeah.
I'm still waiting for my check.
Are you using any canon characters, Katrina?
Not yet. We'll see.
Yeah.
Not yet.
And here's another question from one of our regulars, Carrick. In all 3 campaigns, there has been a focus on food and drinks. Is there any reason for this? And what is your preferred snack and drink for an RPG session?
I'm not gonna start with this one.
I was like, we're old, we enjoy food and drinks. I don't know.
All right, we're food junkies. Let's admit it.
Conversations are always better
taste.
with food and drinks. Yeah.
Enjoy the finer things.
Yeah, and also the smell is probably that sense that brings you the most memories. So food and drinks, they have that. Then you get that sense of smell. You start to smell how will this restaurant smell? How will this area smell? And then you start to visualize.
And it's also easier to maybe connect to with Boston. Relating it to specific places in Boston also opens up the town, the environment, everything, and using restaurants and cafes. I mean, everyone has to eat, right?
Yeah,
it's true.
And when you get feedbacks from viewers that the modern pastry is the best pastry in Boston.
Yeah, thanks, Heidi.
Yeah. So I really want to go to Boston to eat, drink, to watch concerts,
Drink away.
You're actually one of my pastries, because finding out where our character's going to live in the city. Okay, well, Christopher is Italian. That's going to put him up in the North End area. Google Street View, find the building. Oh, that building looks really cool. Okay, well, let's close there. Oh, well, there's a little family-run pastry shop about 200 meters away. Well,
yeah. And best food and drinks for RPG session. For me, being a chef, I would love to have an RPG session when, for example, in Middle Earth, where we have a complete Hobbit meal for the game session. But
we have had Hobbit dinners, but not
we've had that
production with the playing.
But for gaming, for me, it's Coke and chips. Or Coke and chocolate.
We are Norwegian, so what can I say? Pepsi Max. Pepsi
Max. Coffee is important. Crisp chocolate, pure chocolate, milk chocolate. Give it. I want it.
Oh,
and
I remember.
And dirty food is always pizza. Pizza.
Yeah. Well, that when we were back in the olden days, buying pizza and playing,
pizza and playing, and
pizza and playing,
and the old game sessions at Katrina's, where I don't know how many liters of coffee.
We had a press can each. We had a press can each. I don't need a glass. I'll drink straight out of the press can. Which, of course, at 3 a.m. it really is going to help the tension and the paranoia when you're on your 5th liter of coffee and the whole room is shaking because you're shaking so hard. And
I would say red wine, but.
Oh yeah. But then I'm gonna get effed up.
Yeah.
Generally, though I have generally wouldn't normally we haven't drunk. I haven't been drinking any alcohol based when I play normally.
But we all drink now.
Oh,
During
yeah.
our sessions.
I'm just
But
blaming
I only-
the format. It's different. That's
It's
one of the
different.
different things.
It's different. And I only have like 2 or 3 or whatever I'm having, so I can still be in it.
Yeah,
but
because I
it's-
remember some of the test games we had before
Oh,
we
I
started
got-
streaming.
I was like, I don't know. What? Is it working?
Yeah,
Go!
It was part of the
I
technical.
wasn't part of that, but I remember. But it sort of reminds me of like back in the day when we played that World of Campaign when you
Yeah.
came after working straight after first school, then working a couple of hours the shift at the store, and then driving up and playing with us and having two buttons and essentially passing out in your chair.
I think for me, right now, I have at least 1 cup with coffee, 1 with tea, and then a mug or a glass with water, and then a bottle of water. I don't know. Playing online makes me thirsty.
And that's why we also need lots of breaks, because I have a bladder on the
Tiny
size of
bladder.
tiny. It's a peanut. So we need the breaks, because if not, I'm
Actual
just
size
sitting there going,
comparisons.
I can't hold it anymore. All right, but I
And,
think we have time
yeah.
for one more question, because I see we are kind of running out of time.
One quick and one more detailed.
Okay.
Quick one. Will Tailweavers stream other games other than Will of Darkness, and will Tailweavers produce other shows?
Yes.
Yeah. We will.
Easy.
Easy.
Yes.
More of that to be seen.
Yes.
Favorite scene? Favorite scene from you and from your fellow players?
Can I go first for other
Yeah.
player?
Yeah.
Because I'm going to go with the Shiv and Aiden breakup scene.
Oh yeah, that was hard.
I mean, I could have been ranting aside there that when they get together, which was also a great scene, but enjoying seeing my fellow players suffer, we're gonna go with that. No, because I really thought that was really well acted. It was and it was really played out. It was really, and it really cut. You could feel the emotion of it. It really, that really hit home.
Yeah, it
He
did.
was such a douche.
Sorry, not sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's kind of like kind of like the movie Up, Mariana. Just don't get too attached.
Oh.
That's like, and that's such a good
Oh,
movie.
maybe I'm more like Chris than I thought.
Clearly, you
Well,
are.
I really liked when Chris told us about his reasons to go into the mob. I think that was a well prepared and perfectly placed monologue.
Yeah, definitely.
That was
Yeah.
Thank you.
upload.
Uh-huh.
I think for other players, it's actually Ophelia and Chris and Nikita, but in the end of that scene, dirty Taya, I just laid it out there for Ophelia to enjoy. A little snack pack.
Yeah.
I don't know, that was funny, scary, and dirty, and just
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's actually one of my favorite to play as well. Was that though? I think my favorite scene to play actually is when Shiv and Sean decided to like put the pressure on Chris for the money for the heist he's got them to do, and he got to scramble for making up excuses, like backpedaling as fast as he possibly can, throwing just this much smoke in it. That was really fun for as a player because it really had like, okay, how the fuck am I going to solve this problem from here? Really got me working. So that was probably my favorite to play.
Yeah.
Simply because of the you bastards, you know I don't have an answer to this. Yeah, it's just like fire up the prop engines and go
I mean,
back.
I was playing nice with you then, because I was like, I can pursue this for many scenes. I wasn't done with you. It just didn't get prioritized. Yeah.
I think my favorite Sean scene was after rescuing the girls. I think that's a defining scene of how Sean will be. Other one is the scene with with Jimmy the Kid and his father
Oof.
in the junkyard.
Yeah. If I was going to mention one of your scenes, that would have been it, because so good.
Yeah, I think those two were two of the two defining scenes of how Sean will be as a vampire.
Mine, I think it's something what Taya actually talked about it earlier. For me, it's actually the embrace scenes, and then the last scenes. I think
So the beginning and the end.
the beginning and the end. It's because it's such a difference in how then the character are then becoming like one with the drama of the prelude. Like the direction to all three of you when this embrace was forced upon you, like the shock, the horror, there is some how why what are you doing, and then how completely different you guys played it when you are like fully restored in your memory and you're viewing your sires again with the knowledge. I think it's such a beautiful contrast. So I was like, oh, I love you guys. You're amazing players.
Yeah. I love these kinds of stories. These I call them Ouroboros stories, where you have the beginning is the end.
And again, that's a big thank to my players, because they knew how it was going to end. So playing then in reverse, it's also then a lot of leaning into the story.
Yeah.
And it's trust based, because then like they want to create cool ass scenes and have cool ass experiences, knowing that they cannot die in the prelude.
Yeah.
That's a trust thing, and I wouldn't do that lightheartedly with just anyone. That is, I knew that was safe to do, because they their motivation was to create a kick-ass story for them to then start off their unnatural life.
But you can lose sight of that as well. I mean, because we are so into the playing. Like two scenes for me in that aspect. But one was the ambush when things went hell, and the other one's when Chris was playing arsonist and Dimitri Dusholov. Like, you really didn't think that. You really feel like a sense of, oh shit, this is gonna go to hell. I might get killed there, because you completely forget the fact that now this is a flashback really here, because you lean so much into the scene. You can
it
becomes so real that you're immersed in it. You actually forget the fact that the character is actually alive at some later point. Plus, there are other ways to be hurt and dying. I mean,
more ways to punish you, more ways than one.
I think my favorite Shiv scene, because I just talked about yours. I mean, obviously, I've loved every scene with Aiden and Shiv, and those have been so important for me, for her, because we knew where it was going to end, and then I needed to get her there. So every little have been really important for her journey, and also obviously my immersion into that. But I think the favorite scene was actually the one that was on the Sunday, not the one during the night, but one she was at the Velvet Rope with Jade and Aiden. Because I thought there was some really interesting, cheeky, kind of flirtatious, it was a very nice build-up. Something you hadn't seen from them, I think, at least not towards each other. And I think that was just like the little drip or drop that was starting it, for me at least. And also the whole Aiden, Ophelia, Shiv. I thought that entire scene was just amazing, because you saw different sides, and completely different sides. Like, I had never foreseen the conflict between Aiden and Ophelia, which I thought was really nice just to see. Obviously for my own personal reasons, but yeah. it was really nice. Yeah.
All right. So that's a little, we've been hashing through our season 1 with your guys' questions, and I hope we have answered them satisfactory.
Keep asking questions.
Oh, we love it. And all the follows and likes and everything else. And you guys make it even more fun. But this is a hobby, and that someone else takes time out of their life to watch this and comment on it. I feel like $1 million goddamn bucks. I'm so here for it, because this is we're nerds. This is a labor of love. It's our hobby, and we're just putting it out there. And if anybody else likes it and takes time to comment to it, like, we talk about it, we literally text each other going, "Oh my god, have you seen? There's another comment."
It's very much appreciated. It's
very
great to
much
get feedback.
appreciated. Yeah,
It really is.
thank you,
Fantastic.
thank you so much. And I hopefully we will see all of you for season 2 when shit hits the fan.
You mean there's more
Oh,
shit?
no.
There is a
And
fan.
there's a fan, and there's a
Yes.
bag of poo.
There's more poo and there's a bigger
Is there a
fan.
monkey?
There's a monkey. There are 2 monkeys, and they're throwing shit.
Why?
Next
Tune
time I
in
say
for the
let's go
monkey
someplace
show.
like Rome, let's go someplace like Rome.
Do it. All right. Oh, what did I do with my hair? There we go.
Yeah.
It's never mind.
Never mind.
Thanks to my players, and thanks to all of you guys again for asking questions and engaging in what we love. And I hope to see everyone for season 2, which is coming up in not too long.
And then all will be vampires.
It's just vampires from then on out.
Yeah.
It's grrr.
What
Grrr.
do we eat then? If there's only vampires.
Well, this is where Tarja's
Oh, no.
old TV show
Yeah,
comes
yeah.
into play. The Hannibal Cannibal TV show.
Ah!
Yeah, last one standing. There can be.
Yeah, I'm
only
just gonna
one.
say that. I mean, I was like one willpower roll or road check away from actually ending up having Christopher to be like his pre-exclusion
Yeah, I
vampires,
know.
because he really close nibbling on Shiv there at one moment.
And he still might, you never know.
Yeah.
I mean, every time Aiden was rolling, I was like, fuck. Don't. Don't.
Don't fuck it
But
up.
Tarja is a snack pack.
He
He
is
is.
a
He
snack
is.
bag. He is a snack bag.
Yeah.
Shiv is not obvious, and even when she's offering up blood, fresh blood, doesn't help. Ugh,
Yeah.
life is hard.
All right. I have a dog that has a bad stomach. You don't need that information, but I'm gonna give it anyways, and I can
Yeah.
hear some peeping.
Let the dog out.
And I let the dogs out. No, I'm too old for this shit. I
Yeah.
can't do that.
Yeah.
Nah,
Feck off.
No. Feck off. All right. Thank you. And good night.
And good night.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Jag tänkte det var grejer